place in my heart.
Hey, Clint Black. Yeah. Okay, Susan's going to open up this segment. So go ahead, Susan.
I was waiting for you not to say anything so that I could say, well, we're listening to Clay Nelson not speak.
Yeah. And the truth is, if you think about not speaking, okay, if you're not speaking, what do you have left?
Speaking.
No, if you're not speaking, what do you have left? Listening.
Oh.
Yeah, see?
Duh.
Yeah, duh. So if you want to learn something, you know, what's better to do, listen or speak if you want to learn something?
Well, they're both good, but listening, you'd probably learn more.
Yeah, it's a good possibility, right? Mm-hmm. If you want to learn more about your kids, wouldn't it be cool if you listened to them?
Yes.
Or if you wanted to learn what's really going on in your teenager's bedroom, would it be cool to listen or to barge in and ask?
go through their room when they're gone.
Yeah, there you go.
No,
Yeah.
no, don't do that.
All right, so think about this. All right, you can learn more by being a really good, effective listener. Okay, it's like I don't know about you, but if I'm not learning something new every day, just about every second, boredom creeps in, and you know it's like boredom is like a whole different topic in my world. If Clay gets bored, things get pretty crazy. So if you're talking all the time, how do you get a hug? If you're talking all the time, how do people say thank you? If you're talking all the time, if you're flapping your lips and doing the G-jaw and being in charge all the time, how do people get to ask, excuse me, what did you say? I didn't understand you. If you're all about what you say, how do you know what people get? Who's in charge? Who's in charge of what people get? The listener in a conversation or the speaker?
Well, the speaker.
Yeah, so if you're in charge, don't you have to stop and ask, like, excuse me, but I just spoke for 18 minutes. What'd you get out of that? And that first you have to wake them up, and then after that, they'll tell you.
Well, also, too, I think
No, wait a minute. That was supposed to be humorous.
Oh. Ha, 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 ha. No.
Okay. All right, that does it.
So, well, I was thinking about what I wanted to say next. So I didn't really fully get what you said. But
Okay,
what I was going to say...
I'm totally listening now.
Okay, so what I was going to say is I believe that also the listener has a responsibility, too, in the conversation, that if the listener isn't fully understanding what the speaker is saying, they need to say, whoa, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please explain a little bit more or differently? Or
You know, I was just thinking, I was in the arthritis meeting last night, you know, and they were telling me about how you take, when you take calcium, you need to also take vitamin D, because without vitamin D, calcium gets absorbed in the large intestine and it doesn't go where it's supposed to go. And I waited forever because I couldn't tell whether he said vitamin B or vitamin D, you know, like D as in dog, B as in baker. And I never did ask. So I had to wait and call the Arthritis Association this morning to find out whether the guy said vitamin D or vitamin. But that's exactly what you mean. Mm-hmm. If you don't understand what's going on, and if you are clearly listening, or how about this, or you recognize that you're not listening, some thought came into your head, something's going on that distracts you, something you disagree with or what the speaker says, but you really wanted to hear if what you heard is really what they said, you have to find a way to stop and raise your hand.
Yep.
I mean, I've had people in large auditoriums stand up and wave their hand that are 15 or 20 rows back and go, hey, could you say that again? I didn't understand. And it's great. You know, it's not like having a little participation. Plus, it takes a lot of chutzpah. It takes a lot of really having the intestinal fortitude to stand up and say, I don't get it. Okay? It also means to the speakers that, wow, that's cool. Somebody's really listening.
Yeah. Well, I know there was one time I was in a lecture and the lecturers were lecturing way over my head.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of times.
I find that hard to believe.
There was a couple of times I thought, I wanted to raise my hand and just say, please, can you just explain that in layman terms?
Yeah.
Or, make it a second grade level as opposed to a 12th grade level so that I could get it.
Yeah.
But I didn't, and I still don't understand what they said.
Yeah, no, I totally got it.
So.
I mean, how many people walk out of just a business meeting not really sure what was said? You know? And then you go do what you think was said, and it's wrong, and you get into trouble, and, it turns into this giant pot of spaghetti noodles, it's a big mess. You know, so if
Just because you're afraid to raise your hand.
Just because you're
or
afraid to
just
ask.
didn't want to look stupid or
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
the reason is.
And if somebody's speaking to you or speaking to you either as a group or as an individual or whatever, they are taking the time to speak to you because they care that you get what's being said. It's usually a contribution or something they're asking you to do differently or whatever. So you need to really let people know what you hear. All right. I mean, that's why, you know, Susan, you and I have had family meetings since the kids were little, you know. And if anybody wants to know about a family meeting, call us up today. You can get us at locally at 564-1290 or long distance 866-564-1290. Now, the art of listening. It's about understanding. It's about appreciation. It's about mutual trust and respect. Now, think about this. I was just thinking about that when I said that, is when someone in an auditorium stands up and raises their hand and asks me a question about what I just said, they instantly have my respect because of the intestinal fortitude it takes to stand up. It also shows me that they care about what's being said. They're in the room because they want to learn, and there's something that got by them, and they don't want to let it get by them. Plus, they know that once my talk is over, there's a line of people that are asking me all kinds of questions. They don't want to stand in the line. Plus, they also know if they don't understand it, and there's a room of, say, 1,000 people, I'd be willing to bet there's another 250 people in there that didn't get it either. So they're making a difference. They're a contribution to the other people that didn't get it, who maybe don't have enough nerve to stand up, or they just think, oh, I'll get it later. You understand? So it's really cool. So it's, you know, full and complete communication, effective listening, and knowing when you're not is one of the most powerful tools that, you know, can be used for human-to-human contact.
Now, I had to say, I was actually thinking about something.
You weren't
when
listening to what I was just saying?
Well, I was
my
already
God.
making up what I wanted to say, but
Oh.
when you've done workshops, and I'm sitting in the back of the room, and of course I've been through a number of workshops, so I think I know a lot of the stuff you're going to say.
Yeah.
But sometimes you'll surprise me, and you'll call on me, and my mind's
Susan,
a thousand.
do you think I would ever do that on purpose?
My mind's 1,000 miles away, so I'm a little embarrassed. Excuse me, what did you say? So the whole group is looking at.
You know, we've
well,
been doing workshops for 20 years together, you know, and, you know, yes, the truth is, yes, I have done that, knowing that you're drifting off someplace, but I never knew you knew I was doing that. Well, okay, I'm going to have to be different now. Okay, that does it. I'm going to change.
Well, we have another workshop coming up. here
Yes,
pretty
we
soon,
do.
So
Yes, we
I'm
do.
going to have
Yeah.
to be on guard.
Yeah, in fact, we should mention that January 10th, 11th in Santa Barbara is going to be
Yeah,
another personal
whatever that
planning
Saturday
workshop.
and Sunday
yeah, it's a
is,
Saturday,
yeah.
Sunday. Personal planning workshop, purpose, full and complete communication, communication styles, forgiveness, all kinds of really great things on how to have great family, great job, great life, good health, and to be able to teach, all right, everything you know and do the dance. Now, getting past the noise and the distraction and really listening to what you're hearing, how do we do that? How do you get past? Everybody has stuff. Mind chatter. It could be just you and the other person. It could be just you and the speaker in the room. But you could be looking at what's behind them, what they're wearing, what they look like, their tone of voice, whether you want to be there or not, how hungry you are,
How
what's
bored
going
you
outside.
are.
Or you hear a Harley go by and you just start panting, you know, and all kinds of things. I mean, you know, I don't want you to think that that's me, but that's just an idea somebody told me. Anyway, so it's all about understanding that, you know, you have these ears, you have these feelings. How about this? How about you're in a room and it's just too hot or it's too cold, okay? Or somebody's sitting next to you and they have so much perfume on, it just absolutely burns your eyes.
Yeah. Or it's a smell that reminds you of some...
Hey, no kidding. Have you ever sat down in an airplane next to somebody that's got so much aftershave on, it just
Gags you.
gags you. So there's all kinds of things that get in the way, all right? So who do you have to be? So now we're going to take a break now. When you come back, we're going to talk about who I have to be, who you have to be to really hear completely and to really be active in the conversation. So you listen to Clay and Susan Nelson on the Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour, or the Susan Nelson Life Balance Hour. I know I could retire. On
think
KZSB
so.
AM
No.
1290, so get on back here.
No.
Yep.